Hello, I'm Bert Smith. I would like to discuss the database of America's historical imprints. In the database, I initially entered the terms James Kent, New York, which came back with thousands of hits. I narrowed the search to, quote, James Kent, unquote, and entered a filter for New York. This time, the results were much more manageable and were limited to several dozen results divided by year. When we think of law, we think of judges' decisions and orders, legal cases, legislative statutes, and even education. In this presentation, I wanted to explore the practical development of law in early New York and James Kent's contributions. Many of the references I initially found were almanacs or calendars referencing government officers. For example, in Beer's calendar or Southwick's almanac for the year of our Lord 1813, Kent is listed as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, while later in Beer's calendar or Hosford's almanac for the year of our Lord 1819, under officers of the government of the state of New York, Kent is listed as Chancellor. One interesting find was an attorney's desk reference book for practice in the Chancery or Equity Courts of New York. The book contains an order for an 1814 writ of assistance issued by then Chancellor James Kent. The writ is similar to an eviction notice of today. In that case, the court ordered the sheriff of New York to put the complainant into possession of the dwelling house or warehouse, and that, quote, you eject and remove therefrom all and every person or persons holding and detaining the same or any part thereof against said complainants. The writ is pretty standard for its time, and it's reflective of today's evictions, but one of the more notable aspects was the date reference, which stated, in the 39th year of our independence, unquote. In America's Historical Imprints database, I also found a case decided and written by Kent called Herman Hart versus Abraham Ten Eyck. That case involves an estate dispute between Hart's son and the administrators of the estate, charging them with fraud and waste. Kent ruled in favor of Hart's son against the administrators. After finding that case, I wanted to find other decisions by Kent, and I Googled Kent's decisions. I came across an article where Kent, quote, lamented the lack of law reporting, unquote. His suggestion was for judges to enthusiastically put their decisions into writing. His solution was a collaboration with his friend and court reporter, William Johnson, and the establishment of Johnson's reports as the, quote, official law reporting in New York, and made official reports of New York a model for the nation. In their announcement of the opening of a law book and stationery store in Albany, Gould, Banks, and Gould highlighted the necessity for law books and reporters in other parts of the state of New York at the same rates in New York City. With regard to Espinasa's Nisi Prius reporter, the authors noted that amongst other justices to the New York Supreme Court, the Honorable James Kent, quote, have authorized the publishers to say that they deem the work highly useful to the profession. Although obviously a solicited opinion, the reference speaks volumes to Kent's concern for the availability of reporters. I found a final reference that I thought was significant based upon a project I completed for class regarding the State University of New York, was actually the statute that enacted the university system in 1813. The university was to be known as the Regents of the University of the State of New York, with James Kent as one of the original regents. James Kent's contributions to the law were more than just his academic commentaries on American law. He developed a court and educational system in New York, which bears resemblance to our modern structures. Thank you for watching.